Welcome to Root Awakening TV. Today we are going to be cooking with meal kits. And we are going to be checking out if the meal kits are economical, if they're nutritious, if they're environmentally good for us, if they're convenient, all of those things. And my interest was piqued in these because I've never cooked with them before, but I've known many people who have. So today, there's the word so. Are we calculating that today? So today, I'm going to get rid of it, I am. Today we're going to be cooking with those meal kits. If you're in the chat, and there's only a few of us, but we'll populate more. If you're there and you've used a kit, please help us out with some of these pros and cons because they may, hey, Andrea's here, yay, Andrea's here. Andrea, we are going to, every time somebody comes on, we're going to say, have you used one of these meal kits? So some of the meal kits that, when I was doing some research, some of the meal kits that we discovered were, I'm going to read them because some I didn't even know existed, and I'm wondering if it's a US type of product. So the meal kits I saw were called Chef's Plate. I think I've seen that one. We Cook, Noom, Fresh Prep. I've used HelloFresh. I have opinions. I know you do, and I'm looking forward to them. Cook It, Porta, Good Food, and HelloFresh. Now, the only two I've ever seen is HelloFresh and Chef's Plate. Is there another one that I get advertisements for them all the time, and I usually just delete them. Something grabbed me about this idea. And HelloFresh is the one that is the most invasive in my feed, so I ordered that. We're going to start off with our drink o'clock. I've recently, of course, I'm not really, we here, yay, Lizzie's here. I'm not really a big drinker, as you know, but however, I have discovered a Tom Collins, and you know. Nate bought chastisement. Nate bought chastisement. So you're saying you have never had a Tom Collins? No, I know that the drink existed. I didn't even know what was in it. That's how naive I was about this. And we discovered it yesterday and thought, we're going to have one of those. So we start off with, it's easy. These are really easy, and I can tell that this is going to be a nice summer drink, and this may even take over my margarita fixation. So we put 1 shot of dry gin. I'm not going to use the shaker because it's easy to make this right into the drink. If you have opinions about that, because according to Andrea, she has opinions. And I'm going to switch it up. And I know this is like every time I go to make a drink, what? Just make it like it's supposed to be made. No. We want about cancellations. We're going to talk about cancellations. I'm going to put in a little bit Grand Marnier. What? Yeah, I like a little bit of orange in here. If you've never had a Tom Collins with a little bit of Grand Marnier orange, you're missing out. I don't know. Maybe we could call it a Tim Collins. I don't know. We're going to put some simple syrup. Oh, refunds. Why? Why refunds? I'm putting in a whole shot of simple syrup because I like sweet drinks. Sweet drink. And some lemon juice. That simple syrup, when I saw it in the store, I thought, this is ridiculous. Simple syrup is just sugar and water, but I love the convenience of having it there. And sometimes I make a simple syrup and then I put it in the fridge and I don't use it. It's wasted. This one, I feel like it's bottled, and I may even make another simple syrup and fill that bottle. I just like it. And then half a lemon in each drink. Or around it, and on my phone. That works too. So hopefully no one's frozen in their shoes right now because, this has been a really cold couple of days. It's leveled off here in the Kawartha Lakes. I'm going to top it off with some club soda. I could garnish this. What do you garnish this with? Probably 3 meals. So if you forget to go in, okay, Andrea, you're taking away my content. Yes, we're talking about that. Let us get our drink. God. Andrea's like, I have opinions. I want to talk about it. Let's go. Hey, Andrea is a streamer, and we are going to give her a shout out. If you have not been on her stream, like I say every week, great place to hang out. Very, very inclusive stream. It doesn't matter if you're an old woman or not. All right, here you go. Tom Collins. Let's see how this is. Okay, it's delicious. Liz, this is delicious. And if you put in, a tiny bit of Grand Marnier, it's another level. Yeah, I like it. I could have gone a little lighter on the gin for my preference. All right, Andrea, we have our drinks. We can think. Okay. I wanted to start the whole thing. I wanted to start the whole thing first and get out the potatoes and get out all those things. And I thought, no, that's not how these kits work. So I'm going to unbox it with you. So what you get delivered to your door if you are new to this is you get this box. And here it was delivered on a Wednesday, and Wednesday seems to be the only delivery date. Here already, do I have a con? Because I purchase my food usually on a Friday. In the summertime, it's on a Saturday because that's when the farmers markets are open. So this coming Wednesday threw my schedule off because I cook on the weekends. I have the food for the week, the beginning of the week. This coming on a Wednesday threw me off a bit. But then I realized, okay, first of all, it's very well packaged. And you've seen this before. So we're going to, I just want to spill my drink. We're going to show you. Now, there were 4 meals in here. I gave 1 to Monique to cook because she has cooked with HelloFresh. Monique is my daughter. And I wanted her to cook this particular meal, time it, tell me how much it served, because I ordered 4 meals for 2 people. I gave 1 to Monique. I cooked 1 yesterday, so we have 2 left. And so here's what happens. If you haven't done this before, each meal comes in a bag sealed, and it does give you nutrition facts. It's in here. It gives you ingredients, and it tells you what it is on top, and there's a number that must relate to them. At the very bottom of the box, and I discovered this after, there are ice packs, and these ice packs, this got delivered Wednesday. I didn't even know these were in it. I took the whole box and I just kept it in my garage. I'm not going to put it in the refrigerator. I put it in the garage so that it wouldn't freeze, but it wouldn't thaw. These ice packs are still frozen. And I brought them in this morning so that everything could warm up a bit. That's what you get. And on the bottom is the meat. Hey, Smile Times. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so what we're doing today is we're working with, welcome, come on in. It's in my kitchen right, meow. We are cooking with HelloFresh kits today. And so we have 2 to cook. I made 1 yesterday. Now I'll tell you, the one I made yesterday was Italian herb chicken and pea risotto, if you can use the overhead on that. And I have to tell you, it was delicious. It was really delicious. I did find it a slight bit too salty, but we agreed that it would have been restaurant quality, and it helped me get a little bit more familiar with cooking risotto. It's not something you cook all the time. And I did find the ingredients fresh. I'm very surprised by these meals. So we're going to try one. Let's take a choice in the in the chat. I've got a roasted shawarma, spiced chicken with bulgur, and I've got a North African style spiced pork. Yep, Smile Times is from, it's where I met Smile Times is from Andrea's stream. I have to say, I like the way they're packaged. I have to say that too. I put the bag straight into the fridge, and it's super convenient to be able to pull out all your ingredients at once. It is. I noticed that too. Make the vulgar. Yep. Okay. We're going to make the vulgar one because it's a little bit different for us. Let's get rid of all the packaging. Now, I might make both if we have time. We'll see. So I'm going to just go over some of let's get it started, and then I'll talk about some things. So here we are. We're opening up our little bag. We do vulgar sometimes. What's in this bag? We've got baby spinach. Now, if you notice, this isn't heavy plastic. It's a little bit cellophane. And this got delivered Wednesday. And look how fresh that spinach is. I can see nothing wrong with that. Now, 2 sweet potatoes. The sweet potatoes look very cold. I'm a little concerned. We have some onion. The onion's a little bit cold. So I have 113 grams of onion. You're going to use the overhead because the stuff's going on my... Here's what, I guess you have to do this. Golden raisins. A little tiny pouch of Moroccan spice. Now, this is what I'm thinking about these kits. As somebody who's learning how to cook, you may look at this and say, but what is that Moroccan spice? If you were putting this together, you may be able to assemble these spices and know more about it. So you'd know the components rather than just a little packet that says Moroccan spice, if that matters to you, and it does to me. A little bit of feta cheese, little tiny bag, 28 grams, and 28 grams of a little bit of almonds, sliced almonds. All right, bag is empty. Oh, nope. And this is, okay, harissa spice blend. Well, you can Google that. What is that? And I would like to know that. I'm going to get rid of my bag. All right, we take the little... What is that? I have a pot of... Oh, that's delicious, bubbling away right now. Okay, you can come back to this camera now. So what I have noticed is that I took out the card yesterday to make the risotto, and I felt like I needed a little bit of skill to process through it. And I'm thinking about that as a pro and a con. So it's a pro if you want to learn how to cook, so you're using that. I did like how HelloFresh, there were options for quick meals. Okay, there's a con. I noticed that specific allergies and diets aren't adhered to or aren't options. You're right, Andrew, you're right. So I'm going to take out this card. Here's a pro, is that you are learning how to cook. Here's a con. If you are a little bit nervous about cooking, this is going to take you longer. I may have processed through it just a bit quicker, but it still took me enough time. And I also had to use a couple saute pans, a saucepan, all of those things. I'm going to use my side burner. I may have to use this too. I do have my oven preheated because I looked ahead and I knew that I was going to have to roast some potatoes. First thing it tells me to do, you know what I should have done? I should have taken a picture of this card. Learning to cook is a big pro. The boxes did introduce me to dishes I didn't think I could pull off correct. And I've had some friends tell me the same thing. I sent out some messages to people who I thought who may have used this as a working person. And a lot of people have used them. And I'm sure it's because HelloFresh sends out so many promos. And those promos, like when they UPS or Perlator, I don't know which one it was, delivered this, he said, oh, a little embarrassing actually. He said, oh, I guess you got your free promo. No, how do I get a free promo? I didn't get a free promo. I have to tell you that I suspect that my potatoes, my sweet potatoes, are frozen. That could affect our final product. They're very cold and they're peeling okay, but problem is, where do you put this if you're not cooking it right away? Like if this were the summertime, you'd have to take those bags out. Okay, there's my potatoes. I'm going to get them in the oven, then we're going to talk about a bit more of the pros and cons. No, they're not going. I need a knife. Favorite knife. Now there's another thing, you know, if you don't have all of these tools, but a peeler and a knife, maybe. Okay, peel then cut sweet potatoes into 3/4 inch pieces. I can do that. They're not so frozen that they're cutting weird. 3/4 inch. I'm going to probably make a little smaller because, ooh, this one's giving me a little bit more drag on it. This one might be frozen. I mean, what was it here last night? I think it was minus 30 something. Now it does say to put them onto a unlined sheet. Sorry, I'm making an executive decision. I'm lining the sheet because I don't do that. And I'm going to just lay them out. Usually I've got everything prepared, so this was a different thing for me. Now even streaming this was a lot less work. I just got the kits. All right, an oven. You have an oven now. You have an oven. Okay, let's put this in the oven. I'm going to follow these little cards. Add sweet potatoes, 1 teaspoon of Moroccan spice. Here's my little bag of Moroccan spice. You know, after yesterday's, I thought, I don't know, that's not bad. I might order that again. And then I thought, you do now. I thought, you know, it's a little cheaty. A little cheaty. Okay, the Moroccan spice is cumin, there's curry, it's on my nose, and there's a little bit of cinnamon. It doesn't say, I'm sure if I looked at the bag it would tell me, but I can definitely smell the cumin and the curry in there. Says half, okay.
You have to subscribe to it to get it?
Okay, we're going to get to that. So that's about half. Let me put this in the oven so that we can chat. Do I keep those in? You know what? I should have actually posted this photo so you could follow along with me. I be right back? Oh, 1 tablespoon of oil. Tablespoon of oil. I got to go get that back out. It's not hot enough yet. No oil in my packet. What happens if you don't have oil? What happens if you don't have oil? You would be... and a little bit of salt and pepper, it says. Andrea, I have electric salt and pepper shakers. Please notice. All right, now that's it. Let's see how long that stays. Roast for 22 minutes. I'm going to time it. Yesterday I didn't time anything. I got a 22, that's great, perfect. All right. Meanwhile, peel and mince or grate the garlic. This is something I noticed. Dang girl, you fancy. I'm fancy. I got 1 head of garlic for the whole box. Did that happen to anybody else who got these kits? So you got 1 head of garlic, the whole box. Meanwhile, peel or mince or grate garlic. How much? Does it say how much? No. Doesn't say to taste. So what were you talking about, Andrea? Something I said, let's get to that. Okay, so here's some pros while I'm waiting for this. You know, I might not be right on it. Pros, if you're doing it 4 times a week for a family, it came already minced. I love that. If you're doing it 4 times a week for a family of 4, it's $160 a week. You know, when you think about that, that's about $13.70 a meal. That's only dinner. A family of 4 spending $160 just on dinner seems to me a little unapproachable. I don't know. A family of 4, maybe that, you know, I'm used to buying for a family of 2 and guests and stream. I don't spend near that. And I do have all these meals. Now, let's say this kit comes with this little bit of spinach. If I bought a full bag of spinach, I would have it then for a smoothie in the morning. I would have it for a soup. I'd have it for a supplement in my salad. I don't know. That seems a little bit pricey there. So I'm going to mince this garlic. Sure, I like the garlic that's already minced too, but you can't beat this. Where's my little kit? My card. Oh, here's a pro. You can keep these kits, these cards after, and reproduce the meals. Nice fresh garlic. It also was a purple hued garlic, which means it's going to be a little bit of a spicier. It did look fresh, and it did look local. It did not look like supermarket imported garlic. There's no indication on the box whether it is sustainably sourced locally. I have to go with that. It says it's sustainable food for the family. Okay, now it says to heat a large non-stick pan. I don't have non-stick, so I just use what I have. Sorry, I have to use all-clad pan. I'm going to heat the pan first. I don't know if you do this, little chefy trick. But did it say hello? Chefy trick, heat your pan, then put your oil. Don't put your oil when your pan is cold. Heat a large nuts when hot, add almonds to the dry pan. So we're going to be toasting our almonds. Let's toast our nuts. I have high hopes for this. Nuts have no smell. We're going to toast those, and that looks like, that's 28 grams. Here again, maybe I would put more. Maybe I would put a little bit more nuts in it. 34 minutes, transfer almonds to a plate and set aside. I didn't even do that. So while those are toasting, we can talk about another pro. Oh, all I've got is the cons right now. Yeah, we're talking about the cons. So $160 for 4 people. Food packaging, it's a lot of food packaging, but is it? Because that's disputable to me. If you go to the grocery store, you go to Costco and see that everything's double packaged. Go to the grocery store and you've got styrofoam meat trays, which I know the butchers and the supermarkets have tried to eliminate, but it's impossible. You've got plastic covering that. You've got meat done in styrofoam and plastic. That is waste. The meat, this little bit of pork that we will be cooking today, and it is 250 grams, so it's a ½ pound, and it is in this little bit of plastic. So, all right, there's no styrofoam here. I smell the nuts are roasting. You still need a full kitchen to make these meals. You still need pots, you still need pans, you still need utensils, and when that's up, I can't see anything. You still need a kitchen that can prepare a full meal. Most of us have that. It's hard to quit when you want to. Andrea, tell us about your experience. I'll tell you about what happened to me. I ordered it, and I ordered my meals, and then I wasn't given the option to just try it. I got right away, here's the next meals that you're going to order. I had to go through a little bit. I was automatically subscribed without being asked. I was just assumed that I was going to be continuing this. I couldn't just order 3 meals and that's it, or get another order form, or get an email. It went boom, here's your choices for next week, and took my credit card and like blah, 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 I was on. I had to go through a little bit to unsubscribe and to make sure that it wasn't coming again. That was a little bit of a hassle, and it was a little aggressive. Hey, for your meal, oh, okay, good, okay, glad to know. I can smell that starting to cook. So when I finally got to unsubscribe, yeah, that's it. That's how they get you. So when I was finally able to unsubscribe, I then got an email saying, hey, did you mean to do that? And I had to say yes, and I was afraid that it was going to continue on. And now I'm getting regular emails. Okay, transfer almonds to a plate and set aside. Add a little bit of oil to the pan, then the pork, and half a teaspoon of the Moroccan. Half a teaspoon, didn't I just use? This is where you double quick. Okay, I'm going to add some oil to this pan. It's a nice hot pan. I'm going to turn my heat down a bit because that is hot. The oil's going to make a little bit of a noise because I had some nuts in there.
Flanders.
Hey, Flanders, are you here? Welcome to us. Thanks for showing up. Today we're cooking with HelloFresh. I assume it is an American product as well. And we're checking out the pros and cons. I don't want this to go crazy. All right, we're going to be just heating up this pork. Pan's pretty hot, but that's going to give me a nice sear. Okay, Flanders, are you here? Hey, Flandy. Yes, I used to get HelloFresh. I have never met a person yet, except me, that said, I've never tried it. So I decided to try it and give you some feedback. I also did a lot of research this week on people's research and what chefs have said. I polled my colleagues in my culinary arts course, and we talked about HelloFresh, and we talked about these meal kits. And you know, there's a pro, is that it gives budding chefs a job, because all of these kits are developed and tested by chef programs. Then they're taken to chefs. So these are really vetted until they are approved. Okay, I am no pink remains, seasoned with salt and pepper, and the rest of my Moroccan spice. I don't know what she's. Hey, Erin's here. I never have. Okay, I've never tried the cooking kits, just already prepared meals, because I would rather not do the cooking. That's it. Some people want to. Now, Allison, who isn't here, but Allison did send me a text at 2 in the morning, so I have a feeling that she had a gig. Allison really likes them because she enjoys that cooking process, but here's again a pro, is that the kit comes to you. Now, I have the advantage of my own vehicle, and I live in a low traffic area where there's farmers markets and there's grocery stores that are no hassle. I can go from my home to a grocery store without seeing more than 2 people. That's a rural environment. If you live in an urban environment, and it means transit, or going far away, or transiting home with your groceries, it all becomes a different scenario. Or if you live in an area where your closest grocery store might be a high-end market like a Trader Joe's, or I can't think of a Canadian one right now. What's that one? Longo's or something like that. That's different. But I'm going right to farmers markets or to local grocery stores. Maybe that's a different scenario altogether. All right, I'm going to turn this back up. I turned it down a little bit too much. Hey, Flanders, we also made a Tom Collins today. It's delicious. I put a little bit of Grand Marnier in with the gin. I know you're not supposed to, but I like the citrusy orange flavor to it. All right, I'm going to keep going on this. I put in the half teaspoon Moroccan spice with the pork. Cook, breaking up the pork into smaller pieces until no pink remains. That's optimal. Season with salt and pepper. All right, didn't do that. I have noticed the one meal I cooked had a lot of salt. Now, I am concerned about when those, Liz, maybe you remember those in any of your kits, are those little tiny broth mixtures. It's not even broth. It was, well, it said broth concentrate. And when I, stripped it out of it, it was a syrupy-like thickness. It concerned me. I wasn't sure about that. Okay, so if you can use this camera, I think this one's set up to be on here. Yeah, so you can see we're getting the Moroccan spice is nice, and we're working on no pink meat. Yeah. This smells very much like the spices I used on the kofta. That's the cumin and the, but that's a con to me, is that I don't know what I'm using. Okay, I've done that step. Next step, transfer pork to a plate, then cover to keep warm. Gah. I don't want another plate. I'm going to put it on with me nuts. So, going to take the pork. It says cover it and keep it warm. Okay, I have got right now, I've got the pork and the nuts toasted, and it told me to do that. The next step, cook the harissa spiced onions. Yay! So same pan. This is cool. This one is a little bit less. I'm going to put a little bit more oil. Might be more oil than I'm used to using. And these onions. 113 grams of onions. It looks like half a cup. And I'm going to put that in. Yeah. If you see that on this camera, they're a little on the frozen side. I had an issue. I like this. I'm throwing away these little packets. Okay, a little less work for me. That smells nice. I'm also being able to deglaze the pan with these onions, and it's picking up some of the pork flavor and some of the Moroccan spice. I think one of the pros of this is that it's expensive to keep a lot of small, interesting ingredients around and fresh. True. So the average family probably has a lot of their routine meals for frugality. This allows you to cook a variety at home without needing to have everything ever in stock. True. And we just talked about spices a couple weeks ago, and spices can go old. And if you're not used to using things like cumin and curry, maybe this, whatever these spices are, you're right. You may not have those spices right on hand. Very true. But things like, I've noticed there's nothing crazy unusual that I have used yet. You know, though, there's a con here. We're going to go back to the cons because that's what I've got up. Is Nicole has said to me, the problem I have is that I didn't have lunch for the next day. So she likes to cook a dinner and the next day take it in her lunch for work. Yeah, and spices are expensive and you get so much. That's right. And if you don't live, again, if you're in an urban scenario and you don't have an area that you can just go buy those little bit of spices like at the bulk barn or a spice shop, you know, you have to buy them in large bags and they're already stale. So you're right. We are going to assume that what they sent us was very fresh. Now I am going to be cooking off a little bit of these onions. Here's a con, is I would now know how to salt and pepper that, but they didn't tell me to do that. And I always layer my seasoning, so I'm not going to do that. Cook the onions, add the garlic, okay. It says till softened. Well, they're scented, they're getting a little bit translucent. Okay, I'm going to add my garlic. I did 3 cloves, but here's a flaw in this recipe, and I noticed a flaw yesterday as well, is it doesn't tell me how many cloves of garlic to use. It just says peel and mince or grate garlic. Nowhere does it tell me how many cloves. Okay, so at the beginning it says start here. Ooh, it says preheat my oven to 425. I didn't. Baking sheet, it also reminds you to wash and dry all produce. You don't have to if you're peeling the potatoes. It says bust out at the beginning, so it says you need a baking sheet, a vegetable peeler, measuring spoons, large bowl. I don't know what the bowl's for, I didn't get there. Parchment paper, large nonstick pan. That's cool. You can assemble. And for the novice cook, you may have to really, prepare yourself. Okay, the onions and garlic smell divine. And now it says to add this harissa spice blend. If somebody, maybe Liz, if you're there, can you Google harissa spice blend? This is unfamiliar. Again, there's obviously cumin. Moroccan. There's some cumin in here, no doubt. I'm putting the whole thing in. Let's cook that up. It smells delicious. Yesterday when I made it, it did call for, it did make 2 servings, very generous servings in fact. Transfer harissa spiced bowls to a large, harissa spiced onions to a large bowl.
Oh, here we go.
Originally from Tunisia, chili sauce or paste. This isn't, typically made of dry red chilies. Oh, garlic, citrus. Okay, well, there's not the extra virgin olive oil in there. Ground dry chilies, garlic, and spices that is sometimes in a paste. Yeah, maybe so. This one's dry. All right. Let me focus. Transfer to a large bowl. Add spinach, half the raisins, half the almonds.
Oh, leafy garnish.
Hey, Leafy Garnish is here. Welcome. Come on in. Okay, I'm going to get a bowl because it says it wants me to have a bowl. I don't know what's happening. I didn't read ahead, and that's odd for me. No problem. I recently looked it up because I had a chocolate with harissa, and ooh, really, chocolate and chili. I love that combination. Add garlic. Okay, did that until fragrant, very fragrant. Okay, we're going to shut the heat off, and we're going to add this to the bowl because it tells us to. Okay, I have my onions. Let that pan cool. Add the spinach. I'm going to be nasty and I'm not going to wash the spinach. I'm going to trust them. And anyway, we've eaten dirt before. Add the spinach, the whole thing. Okay, did. Half the raisins. Why? Why only half? I like all these little bags. That's half. Half the almonds. Half the almonds. All right, half the almonds. Why? Aren't they all going in eventually? Half the almonds. Add the spinach. Half the raisins, half the almonds. A tablespoon oil. Some more oil. I didn't measure it. It did say in the bust out to use a measuring spoon. Season with salt and pepper. Okay. That was some. Oh, you know what? You said use the vulgar one, and I went to the other one thinking this had vulgar. Sorry. I kept waiting for the vulgar to arrive. All right, we're going to stir this up. My better sense says, why did you do that?
Leafy wants to know what the salt and pepper cream is. What are they?
No, salt and pepper didn't. Oh, my mixers, those are Peugeot brand. And those came from a kitchen store. You can also find them on Amazon. Yeah, there's my potatoes. That was good timing. Let me get a heating protector. I hear you. Oh, these look nice. Okay, this is nice. Okay, potatoes. They look good. Let's put them on this cork thing so they don't burn. Shut my oven. All right, I tossed this spinach with half the raisins, half the nuts, and the almond and the onions and garlic. Now it says to divide this into 2 plates. I'm not going to do that. I need a big plate and I don't think I have it. I'm just going to put it on 1 plate. Trying to get rid of all these. Little packages don't disturb me because a lot of this food would have come in packaging even at the farmer's market. That looks nice. Now remember, this is a serving for 2 people. I think you can see that. Okay, I can't even deny that I'm just impressed. I'm just impressed. It says now to add the pork. I'm going to put it on like crumbles, sort of, like, you know, you want it to look. This is 2 people. We're going to just be setting it aside and sharing it. This would be too much for one. So? Tom doesn't think so, but he's a pig. I'll say that publicly. All right, nice. Now here's where I might be getting into a little bit of trouble with space, because now potatoes. It says to add spinach, half the raisins, half the almonds, oil, onions, salt and pepper. Divide salad between 2 plates, didn't do it. Sweet potatoes and pork. All right, we're going to just put our sweet potatoes around. You know what? This is a nice meal. Now, here's a con. Would this serve children in your family? If you've got children who would experiment with food, but Flanders, you're here and you have a young son, would they eat this? You know, not every child would say they would eat that. This is 2 sweet potatoes, 1 per serving. And I'm putting them on a different look than they had on the picture. Let me look at that picture again. This is how I would serve this. Well, I would have served it on a bigger platter. Yeah, they cut them up in little cubes. See, here's the photo. I don't know, we'll put it up on here. Here's the photo. So here's the back. and we're up to this part. I did not cut the sweet potatoes like they did, but that's life. So now I put on the rest of the nuts. I'm going to sprinkle on the rest of these. Now, Allison has told me that she pimps these. I don't believe that I didn't. Yesterday I wanted to and I didn't. Only one thing yesterday's they didn't instruct me to deglaze the pan, and that really broke me up not to do that because there's so much flavor in there. I was wondering if it was because, whoops, I'm making a mess. All right, there's the little bit of feta they gave me. I'm going to just pick it up off the floor, rinse my hands. All right, that took me a little talk. It took me 45 minutes to make, but this is overhead. This is the pork dish, and it's called North African style spiced pork. Nice. Could I have made that more attractive with cutting up the sweet potatoes? Maybe. Let me taste one of these sweet potatoes. Yummy. No. Oh. That tasted, there's cinnamon in that. Definitely cinnamon. Okay, let's get rid of this paper. Here, what kind of mess do I have? Yeah, I got a little mess. Nothing more than if I cooked that from scratch. I'm going to tidy this up a little bit. Do we have anything to show them while I tidy up? What chef? Oh, let's play Who's Name That Chef. But there's some pros here. Let's go on to my pros list. Now, I did say that. Okay, who's that chef? Name that chef. The tune is back. Robert, there's a last name, important last name. Yay, Smile Times, you get the prize of my undying respect, which doesn't go to too many people. Bingo, you got it, yay. We haven't played Name That Tool in a while. All right, I've cleaned up from the last kit. All right, Liz, here's the vulgar. We're going to be making roasted shawarma, spiced chicken, and bulgur. I like the way, yeah, I like your name, the tool game. Okay, I'm gonna find one then. I'm gonna find a tool. Look at this, 2 chicken breasts. So this is what I got in this kit. I'm so glad you're honored. We're going to be making the chicken shawarma. Let me get it started. All right, so this meal is sitting over here ready to be, the pork one, ready to be eaten. What did I get in here? Oh, they didn't freeze. I got cherry tomatoes. I got a little bit of parsley. Look at this cute package of parsley. Look underneath here. Okay, I got this cute little package of parsley. Okay, I got sweet potato, but it's frozen. But the last one, it didn't matter. I got a lime. Oh no, I'm sorry, it's a lemon. It's a little frozen, but it's okay. I got this little thing of mayonnaise now. You know, this is a little bit of packaging that disturbs me. And here we go, Liz. This is what I was talking about, the chicken broth concentrate. I want to know what is this? What is this? You know, it's a little bit salty. And I got some shawarma spice blend. I want to know what those individual components are. I don't know what Tom's doing. And here's our vulgar wheat. Here's the roasted shawarma spiced with bulgur. So you see, here's the photo, of course. Here on this side tells you what's in this kit. And then on the back, it tells me before starting, preheat your oven to 425. I only had it at 350. I'm going to change it. Now, I don't know about you, but when I get up in the morning, the first thing I do is I turn the oven on. To me, that is like putting out your open sign. Let's start. Roast the sweet potatoes. I have another lined baking sheet ready for us. And we're going to peel and roast. Well, it's nice that my tools are all out. We're going to peel my frozen, but this is only one. Why? This is 2 people and 1 potato? Oh, maybe the bulgur is the other starch or carbohydrate in that. So we visited 2 farms this week. We were invited to do 2 tours, and those can't come to you until there's a very special, we were commissioned to do these farm tours because we were commissioned to do a stream for a big project. The stipulation there was that we cannot use it for our stream until it has been published by the people who have commissioned. So that will come to you at some point, but not until they have used it for their own purposes. They were tremendous farms. We went to Leahy Leor Farm in Indian River, Ontario. Wow, what a farm. I mean, the sheep, the cattle, everything on this farm was immeasurably healthy. And they had chickens, geese. They had little girls who want to be farmers. It was iconic. And then we went to another farm. It was a woolen mill where they shear the sheep and actually process it in a mill. And we were taken for a tour in the mill. And that's going to come out in this special project, and I can share that with you in a little bit. Right now, I'm a little bit hesitant to do that because I've been told to be. Let's see. Okay, roast them. Add the sweet potatoes and 1 tablespoon of oil. I'm going to put them in the middle so I can use less oil. Oh, thank you, Leafy Garnish. Thank you for the sub. Excellent. Thank you so much. I just like having you here. I'm going to put this in the oven. Next step, step 2. Oh, 18 to 20 minutes. Let's put that on. Now, something Andrea said in the chat was that she really enjoyed pulling off these dishes. I have to admit that creating something outside of your zone is really fun and it's really motivational. Thank you so much. Oh, she gifted to Allison, Andrea, Mr. Mark, and Shiny Toy Guns and Tank Engine. Thank you so much for those sub gifts. Those are really nice. And we just love having you. All right, let's go to the next step, which is, meanwhile, cook the chicken. I'm going to get out a fresh skillet. It's enough for 2 chicken breasts. Pat the chicken dry with paper towels and season with salt and pepper, and remaining heat a large, let's heat that. It's not large, it's only 2. They just don't want you to crowd the pan. So those 2 farms were this week, and I'm telling you, it was freezing out there. I dressed warm. Wonderful farmers to talk to. It's my favorite thing to do is talk to young farmers. And then this coming month, next month, we are touring another farm, and it's a big one, and we're really encouraged to do that one. But we have been invited to a farm on Amherst Island, which is near Kingston, but you take a ferry to get to it. It's a 400-acre farm, and we are really looking forward to that. You don't rinse chicken off. I know it feels wrong, and I know people say, ooh, she's not washing her chicken. Don't do that. When you wash the chicken, you're only moving the bacteria around. You're not really doing anything to it. I'm going to add oil to my pan right now because it's hot. I'm going to season my chicken breasts with a little bit of salt and pepper. I'm going to wait till it's in the pan to add the shawarma sauce or season. Let's clean that with a paper towel. If you're using a wooden board, take that right off, scrub it. If you're using a plastic board, you can just wash it, it's not porous. Meanwhile, pat the chicken dry with paper towels, then season with salt and pepper and remaining shawarma sauce. Spice blend. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I was supposed to put some of this on the sweet potatoes. I guess it's kind of like the last one. And maybe this is the repetitive thing they were talking about. I have to go put some of this on my potatoes, and the rest of it goes on the chicken. That's a lot. That's a lot. It's mixing with the oil in the pan, if you can notice that, and that's giving it a nice paste-like, as if I had used a shawarma paste. Okay, so sear until chicken is golden brown, 1 to 2 minutes. When sweet potatoes are halfway done, carefully remove from the oven and push to one side. Oh, then we're going to transfer the chicken to the other side for 10 more minutes. So let me just sear these. We're searing them. If you noticed, it lifted right from the pan. That means it's ready to go. If it sticks, it wasn't ready to go. I'm going to just make sure that I get all of that seasoning in that oil. I've got it turned up. So the tours that we're going to be bringing to you, this big project that we just did this week, that will come to you, but it won't come to you until these people publish it. And that's it. And then in March, we're going to another farm called Shaylin Farms. It might be up there. There it is on the scroll. We're also invited back to Red Mill maple syrup because the syrup is starting to run as soon as this cold snap warms up. Yeah, thanks for the gift sub is right. Look at that. That's very nice. Thank you. And then in April is going to be the Red Mill maple syrup. And then the next one on Amherst Island is going to be a thrill because it is an overnight stay. It's a little bit of an adventure. It's a great market, a great farm. Go look it up. It's called Topsy Farms. And what really appeals to me is that it was originally a hippie run, and that's how they promote it, a hippie run farm. And you know, I can relate. Ooh, look at that, nice. So we've seared it. This is what I don't like. Look how much is in that pan, and are we going to be using that pan? I don't know. I don't know. I haven't read ahead. But these look very nice. I'm going to cook them just a bit more. I don't trust that that's enough to go into the oven. Sear until it's golden brown, 1 to 2 minutes per side. I don't think we've done that yet. Meanwhile, add 3/4 cup water. I need a medium pot. So I'm going to shut this down and I'm going to place these into the oven on the same baking sheet. All right, this pan, look at the deliciousness in this pan. I don't know what they want me to do here, but this really disturbs me not to deglaze that. I don't know if there's a step to that. I'm going to leave it. That's in the oven, 10 to 12 minutes. Whoops. Yep, that's right. See, halfway done. These kits are fine-tuned. That's halfway done, and it told me to add in the chicken. You know what? I smelled a mustard in that. There's a mustard in that chicken. Okay. Meanwhile, add 3/4 cup. I got to get a cup. So far, I haven't seen that this is any more mess like in a stream. I know what to expect in a stream. I haven't noticed any more mess. And half a teaspoon salt. Just going to use regular salt. Broth concentrate. Look at this little thing. Now, I use something called Better Than Bouillon, and a lot of chefs use it because it is better than bouillon, and it's readily available when you need just a little bit, and it's a paste. I wonder if this isn't it. Look, see what I mean? I don't know if you can see it. Maybe on the overhead you can see it going in. This made me curious. Now, if you've used these kits, you've used these. Cover and bring to a boil over high heat. All right. I'm going to put it back on the high heat there. It says cover. Do what it says. Once boiling, add the bulgur. Stir to combine, then cover and remove. Okay. I'm going to add the bulgur. What? No, when it boils. There's another little flaw in this one. It says how to make the toum. At no place does it tell you what T-O-U-M, toum is. If you have some experience with food, you'll know that toum is like a garlic aioli. So it's just mayonnaise with garlic, although no garlic yet. Oh well, we have to wait for that to cook. Let's go over some of the pros while that is boiling. It's not too far. Some of the pros of these kits, if you're it's still in the frame of mind that these are good things, let me know what you think. It's a great way to learn how to cook with new techniques and new ingredients. Meals are tested by chefs. I think we talked about that to ensure that they are good and easy to make. And as my culinary professor has told me, these are often sent out to chef in training because they're also trying to figure out how to develop recipes. And these kits tell you how to portion as well. So it's good for development of a chef's skills. But despite the packaging, it might be greener because grocery stores waste food. You've seen those research things where they show, Walmart will toss out bins and bins of food that is not, it's expired or they just can't sell it. That's a lot in our trash. You don't end up cooking too much and end up wasting. That doesn't happen here because we do use a lot of our leftovers. But if you're a person who doesn't like leftovers, these are perfect. You don't have leftovers. And portions are plentiful. I think we discussed that as well. Here's the cool thing. A group of researchers took these kits and they tested them with a kit, these recipes with a kit and without a kit. After adding up all the environmental impacts, the researchers found that a meal made from scratch produced 33% more greenhouse gas than the one from a kit. Their theory is, HelloFresh's theory is that it's going from farmer to their processing plant where they portion this and they combine these to you. They're saying that a grocery store goes from farmer to depot, from depot to grocery store to you. Now, if you are getting your groceries delivered, even between grocery store to you is another middle person. All right, this is boiling, so I'm going to add the bulgur. If you do not agree with these pros, okay, stir and shut off the heat. It smells okay. I'm going to cover it. It says remove from the heat. This is not induction, so it's going to cook for a little bit. I don't know if I'm using that pan again. I don't think I am. Remove from the heat. I'm going to remove it let it cool so that it can thicken on its own. Yeah, so the greenhouse gas they consider to be more when you buy your groceries. So the bottom line, though, the end results of all the research of anything I've looked at is that HelloFresh is not cheaper than grocery shopping, but it does save time going to the store. So here's a comparison. HelloFresh was considered to be, for an average package, $78.93 or $13.60 per meal. Grocery store, the same amount of food was $45, and it considered it to be $7.50 a meal. What went on between that, though? Did you have to take handy or transit to get that? Did you have to pay a delivery fee for it to come to you? And I know people in urban areas have to do that. Even in rural areas, did we have to go beyond our store that is close to us? Did we have to pay gas? All of those things. But HelloFresh is $13 and some cents, where grocery store is $7.50. Now, the personal opinion I have is that using rather than 2 liters for rice, yours looks easier. It's pretty easy. The personal opinion I have is that I like to go to the grocery store, I like to go to the farmer's market, and I like to pick my own ingredients. I learn something and I can choose what I'm using. But I also have the privilege of being able to go and do that myself. That's, I also have a little bit more free time, and it's part of my job, if you want to say, to select food. But if you're confused as to what to buy, if you are thinking, all these bulgur types, or what kind of onion is this? Is it a yellow onion? Is it a white onion? It can cause confusion. It can cause wasteful shopping. So, those are things to keep in mind. I'm going to make sure that, how long does this take, the bulgur? Okay, we're going to start off with making the rest of it. So it says to half the tomatoes. These did not freeze. Little bit of waste, little bit of a clamshell. Clamshells are my pet peeve. I'm not crazy about those. It says to half the tomatoes. Another place, part of what we do in a week is we go out to farms and we interview people. And on the way home, we always try and find some place that we can have a lunch or, experience someone else's cooking. We came across a small restaurant in Selwyn Township, just near Buckhorn, and it was the cutest little restaurant. It's called Selwyn Restaurant. Look it up. You'll see that none of the tables matched. None of the chairs matched. The waitress and the chef worked together. Delicious food, like you would make at home. And if I'm always talking about coming out to the Kawartha Lakes. If you come out to the Kawartha Lakes and you're going for a drive through Buckhorn and Lakefield, Selwyn Restaurant on Buckhorn Road, is it? Delicious place. And they have Chinese food as well. Homemade Chinese food, not from a can, not that red sauce. Homemade Chinese food. I was amazed at the food that came out of this little tiny kitchen. Roughly chop the parsley. We can do that. So here again, I got just enough parsley for this little tiny clamshell. Yep, it went in the garbage. Okay, roughly is exactly what it said to do, and I did. Zest and then juice half the lemon. Ooh, it doesn't tell me what to do that in. Must be a bowl. Let me read it again. Meanwhile, half the tomatoes, roughly chop the parsley, zest, then juice half the lemon. Got to get my zester. But maybe I'm creating this tomb. I'm going to zest it with this other kind of zester I have. It's not as good, and I should have done it before. Oh, something's done. Got a little bit of zest. I'm going to get the juice. says keep only half. The lemon was cold from being outside, so the juice came out like thick. Let me check what we have coming up in the oven. Hot mitts. Nice. Okay, chicken looks done. It's no longer pink. I'm going to put it on our cooling rack. I have to wipe my oven out. I noticed that. It's got a little bit of splatter on it, and that's not going to work for me. Okay, here we go. I'm going to make the zest, then juice half the lemon. Cut any remaining lemon into wedges. It even tells you to do that. Where does this say it's come from? USA. Well, nice. That's not local, but then we don't grow lemons, so I guess that's as local as it's going to get for us. All right, I have a few lemon wedges here, lots of seeds. One thing about this kit is I wouldn't have bought cherry tomatoes this time of year. Peel, then mince or grate the garlic. All right, I want a little bit finer. I'm not going to use their garlic. So I do have some pre-minced garlic. I'm just not using theirs. I'm going to put in, again, doesn't tell you how much. I absolutely agree. I enjoy grocery shopping, picking produce, buying what looks good at the time, and rolling with the punches, preparing what I buy. Exactly. That's something you and I like to do. It's not for everybody, and I understand that. I think now I'm going to be adding in this mayonnaise. This little packet feels wrong to me because, I could have done this and I would know exactly what brand I had, but it's how the kit works. And when you see what you're throwing away, it's this. Compare it to the jar, but the jar I get many uses out of. All right, I'm going to I should have got a smaller one. So there's garlic, lemon juice. It doesn't say to do this. Season with salt and pepper. A little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. Not too much. Whisk to combine. Okay, now it's telling me to whisk it. Stir the sweet potatoes, lemon zest, and half the parsley into the bulgur. Let's get a bowl so we can. Let's get the bowl that we used. I'm just going to wash it out. Stir the sweet potatoes. Let me get something to lift those. It's funny that these were both sweet potatoes. Both these meals that I chose. And the lemon zest, I put the lemon zest in there. I'm just going to put a little bit of lemon juice then. But not the seed. So when you're making these, I'm sure if you're still watching, you've made mistakes too. Oh, whisk together remaining lemon juice, a 1/4 teaspoon sugar. Nobody said anything about sugar. I don't see my little packet. All right, 1/4 teaspoon sugar. A little strange that they didn't send that. What if you didn't have sugar? Get a clean spoon for that. All right, what are we up to? Stir the sweet potatoes, lemon zest, half the parsley into the bulgur. Let's just put the bulgur into this. Ooh, look at that. Look at this. It's nice. It's cooked. Did it say half the bulgur?
No, I don't think so.
stir the sweet potato into the bulgur. While we're doing it the opposite, we're putting the bulgur into this bowl. Now, if you looked, I've got some dishes. If I had bought this at a grocery store, would I have, or at a restaurant, would I have these dishes? I'm going to put a few of my saucepans on to soak. Okay, set aside. Whisk together remaining lemon juice. Add tomatoes. Didn't it just say set aside? Add the tomatoes and remaining parsley. Okay, I get it. Add the tomatoes. We're in business. Add the rest of the parsley. Why didn't I just add all the parsley? Okay, it's starting to make sense. I'm going to stir this up. Wow, so interesting. I had no idea you could cook it that way. I wonder, oh, the bulgur. Well, yeah, you just add, look at it. It came out beautifully. It smells nice. What's really coming out is that parsley, because that was pretty fresh parsley. I'm going to get a plate so I can plate this. Okay, so let's put this on the plate. We're going to be eating this, and I have another video to do after this. This is when I close this stream, I'm doing a video for that commission stream, so that one's all prepped, ready to go. I can't even tell you what I'm cooking on it because it's not supposed to be talked about. All right, now it says I can put this away, I'm not cutting up bags, to slice up the chicken. Let me clean a few things up. I'm going to slice up the chicken if you want to use the overhead. I'm going to do it like this. Really nicely done inside, you know, searing it in the pan and finishing it in the oven is nice. I'm going to put that there, bed it in. I'll do the other one. Now, if you're a little trick, don't cut all the way through and it'll keep a little bit of its shape. It just portions it. I'm going to bed that in. I'm going to put a couple lemon wedges to dress that up. And now I'm going to, I don't even know anymore. Yeah. I'm going to just drizzle this on top. And there you have it. So what I have cooked here today, let's clean up my board and bring it out so you can see both. With a little bit of time. So, you know, let's say an hour, because there was a lot more in a stream than if you were cooking by yourself in a kitchen with the music playing. You would have probably done this in an hour. In an hour, I cooked. First time chat. Who is it?
Andy B.
Hey, welcome. Andy B, I think I've seen you on another stream. Well, hello there. Lovely to see you on stream. Nice to see you too. Come on in. We have been cooking HelloFresh meals today. And, wow, you said that without typing magic. Without typing, I've got a producer in the background. Today we decided that we were going to test out some HelloFresh meal kits. And what we were trying to do is see the pros and see the cons of cooking. If you can use the overhead right now, you're going to see that in a matter of 1 hour, let's say, I cooked 2 meals. This one is a North African style spiced pork. So there's ground pork underneath that, there's sweet potatoes on top, and there's some feta cheese, raisins, and some spices, or spinach salad in there. This one is a roasted shawarma, spiced chicken, and bulgur. I like this one, I prefer it. Oh, Dana's Kitchen, yes, I did see you on there, Wayfarer's Pantry. All of those great streams to be part of, but thank you for choosing ours right now. So I've got a bulgur at the bottom, nice spiced with a curry Moroccan seasoning. And then there's 2 chicken breasts that have been roasted with some spices. Absolutely delicious. You know, now, pros and cons, I really do believe there's more pros than there are cons to this kit. And I'm not a brand ambassador for HelloFresh. I actually thought I was going to come on here today and tell you stop doing these and just buy the groceries and do it. These kits are pretty exciting, to tell you the truth, because it pushed us beyond what we may have cooked normally. So what I can see myself doing is saving these cards, knowing that what it took. And these two were very similar in that they used sweet potatoes and the same kind of seasoning. I think you could make these in a week and you could buy the same groceries at the grocery store. This is the HelloFresh kits. Maybe a little bit more pricey. Put it like this, it's less money than going to the grocery store, going to the restaurant and ordering it at a restaurant or a takeout, but it might be more expensive than the grocery store. It all depends on what kind of time you have in a week. Do you have disposable time to shop for your food? Do you have disposable time to actually cook your meals? What level of time do you have? And these are nutritious. There's not a lot of processed foods in these. I find them to be really just good, wholesome foods. I'm sold, although as a chef, I don't think that I'm going to be relying on these, but I can certainly see where they have an advantage for the home cook. We are going to close our stream today. We need to clean up our kitchen and start another stream. But I just want to go through a few things that are coming up for us. We are going to be touring some more farms, and we're bringing those farm tours to you. We've got a lot of things in the works, and we're excited about that. If you have some extra stream time this week, there's food and cooking. You want to go to Darth for Baca. You want to go to Thistle and Oak. Dana's Kitchen is always good. Dana's Kitchen, Wayfarer's Pantry. I don't know the other one. I haven't been on that one. Lots of good food and drink streams coming up. If you want some fun entertainment that is not cooking, go check out the Speakeasy channel. They have got a Tuesday night stream. They've got a Friday night stream that'll rock your world because it's funny. Go look up speakeasychannel.tv or .com and you will find out how often they stream and how fun they are. We are also going to raid. We're going to search out who's still streaming. I don't know if Thistle and Oak or Darth is still streaming. We're going to check that out. Keep cooking. Keep nourishing yourself, those you love. But just right now, this kitchen is closed.